Hi, I'm GinaMarie, and I'm the owner of the Little Gym of Midland, Texas. And I'm going to talk to you real quick about the ability to listen and have your children to do directive listening with music, and how important it is for music in a child's life. So when you are listening to music, when we do this at the Little Gym, there might be a cleanup song, or we might be able to use music when it comes to a piece of equipment. So if they're holding onto a ball or bubbles, there's music directively educating them about the piece of item that they're using. So we love directive listening, and that comes in a form of music. And so while you're marrying the two together, when you're telling a child to do something and also music, and you're giving them a direction, it really helps the child listen and pick up on cues than otherwise than when you speak to them they would hear. So when you're singing, it's time to put the balls away, balls away, balls away, it is something, the ball is the object. They are doing a command, they are following through, but then they're listening to a song, and so every time they hear that song, it's a cue for them to follow through with that item. So it's super important when you're doing the balls. It's time to do the bubbles today. It's knowing that there is something we're going to advance to, and then it's the next step. Because again, children love the idea of a routine, and so if you put that song in your routine, you're going to get them to do something more than just say, hey, can you put up the balls? Or hey, we're about to do this. When you sing it, it shows more of a cue to educate the child. So anyway, that's what I wanted to bring to you. At the library, they do have that. It's impressive. It's incredible. It's an amazing program. I'd love for you guys to experience more of the library. If you guys are wanting to come out to the library, I just want to say it is super safe here. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Hannah Johnson, and welcome to this week's Art Experience activity for Family Place Parent-Child Workshop. For this week, we are doing sensory bends. Sensory bends can be a variety of different materials used. It can be uncooked rice, which is what we're using today. It could be beans, it could be shaving cream, it could even be sand. And this activity is really working with the children's 5 senses, so they get to dive in. So for today, I used uncooked rice, and I have dyed the rice. Now there's a couple different ways you can do that. I just did it very simply. I did, these are 20-pound bags of rice, and you put food coloring in it with hardly any bit of water, and you let it stir. So you stir it, let it sit, let it dry. With this amount of rice, it did take a long time, but it's just fun to have those different colors, another activity to talk to those kids about. So with sensory bends, kids get to work on their 5 senses again, so they get to dig in, hands, I have shovels, I have mixing cups over here. I even have different sand, beach activity things. So, we can hide this, have them see, oh, what can we find in here? Is it a shell? So, what it works is it works with these sensory activities, it works with the children's creativity. It works with them linguistically. It also works with them socially, emotionally, cognitively, and physically. So when I say works, it helps develop these different, creativity, physically, all of these different things. And kids really just enjoy sensory bends. So, one really cool activity or thing with a sensory bend that I don't have today is like a sifter, so they can sift through and just move things from one place to the other. It's really fun, really simple, and with STEM, kids are learning science and they're learning math. So this is just an activity that we have open, again, like every parent-child workshop that we have with Family Place. This is just a section that kids are welcome to come and spend time with. If this isn't something that interests them, again, that's perfectly okay. We have other activities for them, toys and different things that might be of more interest to them. But again, this is just a fun, really simple way, things that you can do at home to have a sensory bend. Now, of course, parents out there are thinking, man, I don't want rice all over, and I completely agree. So it happens, and that's why we have tables low to the ground here for kids not to be up on. But really, it's simple. It's easy to vacuum, clean right up. The earlier you make it and the longer it dries, the less that your food coloring transfers over to your hands. But they spend just hours in here playing. It's just like playing out in the sand. So another fun activity to do with the children that works with their five senses and has that tactile experience that kids just get to enjoy. You can talk about colors, you can talk about creativity, imagination, what might be in this colored rice or sand. So again, thanks for joining us today, and we will see you next week.